Hey everyone, for this video I really want to talk about what makes a good summer blockbuster video. So I've made tons of, discussion videos in the past, things that really weren't reviews, just, like my take on, what makes a great summer blockbuster or what makes a good film, what makes a bad film. So for this video it is the what makes a good summer blockbuster. So first and foremost, guys, this is basically kind of my 5 elements that I look for whenever I watch a summer blockbuster. Kind of the things that I think films that are released in the summer should have for whether it's an action film or a comedy or a horror film or even a drama. Just things that we should have for movies while we're watching them over the summer. Um, so for my number one element, I don't think a summer blockbuster should be too much dumb fun, nor should it be too complex. And what I mean by that is, with dumb fun, probably the closest I would say to go is don't make something that's more dumb fun than, let's say, the first Transformers movie. When you're making a complex summer blockbuster, make sure it's not more complex than Inception. And so basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't make it so complex that we need a slip of paper, we need to write everything down to make sure all the clues and the hints add up by the end of the movie, and don't make it so much dumb fun that by the time we're done watching it, we begin to question if we have brains or not. Um, so no, make it fun. Don't make it too stupid, but don't make it too make it intelligent, but don't make it so intelligent that we kind of get lost in the translation of the film. Um, so just have fun with it. Kind of find a combination of the two. Kind of like make the Dark Knight. I mean, make something that's complex. It's not really dumb fun, but it's, um, there's enough going for it that we're required to think at times, but at the same time, we just kind of have to take it in for what it is, and we don't need to think about things too hard. And when we do think about things hard in that one, we just kind of interpret it like, what if this was taken from the comics, or what if this was taken from, this one Frank Miller issue that he worked on, or things of that nature. Not so much like, oh well, if this person went into this room and then took this candle and took this knife, or none of that kind of stuff. Secondly, guys, I think a summer blockbuster should have an oomph factor. So when I say oomph factor, what I mean is, make sure there's something about it that we're not going to get at an earlier in the year or after the summer blockbuster season. So kind of like with the upcoming Pacific Rim film, it's going to be monsters versus robots. But what's unique about it is, it's done in the fashion of almost kind of like what we see in the Dark Knight or in a Transformers film, or basically these really big budget films where you almost begin to wonder where they came up with the money to make something this big and live action, be able to have all the CGI in it, make sure that things explode on cue and everything else. Um, so it makes sure there's something special about it. Make sure that instead of just making a monsters versus robots film, what makes it so special? What makes it, one of the more notable films of the year in some way? I mean, or at least what makes it one of the more notable, marketable films of the year. Third off, guys, I think there needs to be a fun factor to every summer blockbuster. So if it's a comedy, make it fun in some way. If it's an action film, once again, make it fun in some way. Don't just make it at a very basically, don't make us walk out of the theater making us feel like we were just at like a class lecture somewhere that we didn't like. Make sure it actually has something fun, something that we're not going to forget about it. Make sure that there's this fun factor to it that we would have fun at like a big party or something like that. There has to be something fun about the film that makes it a summer blockbuster. Fourth, guys, I think there needs to be a reason why the film is released over the summer. Why not a different season? A good example of this is Jaws was kind of the first film to be it's the first film to be almost considered a summer blockbuster. And what I mean by that is, it's this shark in the water. It's something, people go to the beach over the summer, like in Florida or in Hawaii or the Bahamas. So they're going to be in the water, and what's kind of unique about that film is, it's this time of the year where, people are going to be swimming in swimming pools or out in the ocean or out in the lake. And they almost are going to be afraid now to go into there just because, they just saw this big film involving something that they're about to go out and do for fun over the summer. But because that film had such a big impact on them, they were almost scared to walk into the water because they're worried that that big shark was going to come and attack them. Um, Another film that comes to mind was E.T., and E.T. kind of leaks into Super 8 in some ways back when that came out in 2011. And what I mean by that is there was this big event that happened over the summer, and these kids go on this adventure, and it's fun, and we remember it, and we kind of go on this adventure with them over the summer, where they're riding bikes. It's hot weather. They're always at the friend's house. They're doing fun things together. They're always talking about this girl they like and all that kind of stuff. Um, so no, make sure there's a reason why it's coming out over the summer. Is it because the setting works with the summer? Like I said, is there like kind of like with Jaws? Like, is there something that we're used to with the summer, like going into water for the beach, that we're going to be kind of scared of now to go into because of this film? Um, there has to be a reason why it's coming out over the summer. I think don't just release it just to be with the other notable films. Make sure it's in there for a reason. And fifth off, guys, we need to have the films we can watch all year round. So it can't be a Halloween film. It shouldn't be a Christmas movie. It should be something that kind of like with Ted or what's another one? Like the original Hangover. Something we can watch all year round. Something we're always going to laugh at or be scared of, or remember the action from the action scenes, or the comedy, or the dramatic moments. There has to be a reason why it's kind of the film we watch all year round. In some ways, some of the more notable films of the year come out over the summer, which is kind of saying something. Um, so there's a lot of factors to summer blockbusters, you guys, and this just isn't it. This is just kind of five components that I made that um, kind of contribute all into what could be big summer blockbusters. So let me know what you guys think. Did I miss something in this video? Do you think this is kind of correct when it comes to summer blockbusters? Do you think that summer blockbusters should be more complex or more dumb fun, or what should be about? What should summer blockbusters be about? I mean, what do you think? So that was just kind of my five components of what a summer blockbuster should be, and I'm curious to know what some of you guys think for what a summer blockbuster should be. So just wanted to make this fun video, with the summer blockbusters like Iron Man 3 and Pacific Rim and all that other kind of stuff coming out in the next few months. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys or can't wait for the summer lineup this year, and I can't wait to see what some of your responses are to what makes a good summer blockbuster.